Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a terrific matchup on tap between the Atlanta Falcons and the Seattle Seahawks.
Well, Coach, no rain in the forecast. That's the good news, but it is a chilly December day here in the Northwest at CenturyLink Field in Seattle. Tonight, it's the 512th and final game of the regular season, and we've got a good one between the Atlanta Falcons and the Seattle Seahawks. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. And trotting out there, their tall quarterbacks, standing at 6'5".
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. A tackle for loss there. 2 last week. He's tough to handle coming off the edge.
And when you talk about a defensive end, your first thought is how does he rush the passer? That's where he makes his big plays getting into the backfield. But the best ones can play the run as well. And that's what we're seeing from him, that excellent combination of holding the point of attack and also getting upfield to make plays in the backfield.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
You better get in the weight room, son.
And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
They'll set up to throw. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one good for 24 yards.
And I know you can't really see it, but that play spells frustration with a capital F for the guys on defense. They covered everyone else, end up going to the running back out of the backfield, and he picks up a back-breaking first down.
60 or 59. Know your job. 5.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 41. They'll look to throw. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. And this unit, very tough to throw against. Currently 2nd best in the NFL.
And this unit knows exactly where they rank. They're number 2 against the pass in the NFL. You know they have their sights set on being number 1, looking for a big game today.
On 2nd down, Browning. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And he's finally down at the 21-yard line. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And they'll get this down to the 10. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
Ready? 30 base.
On first down, Browning. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. A great play there. with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Seahawks take the ball down the field and score on the opening drive. Well, these guys scored touchdown after touchdown in that win a week ago. So how do they come out this week? Same way. They got that momentum going, a touchdown on the opening drive.
I think it's safe to say that they're in a groove, isn't it? I mean, a lot of times we've seen where teams have scored a ton of points the week before. The very next week struggle to score almost as if they used it all up. Not in this case. This group appears locked in.
We're going to have to make some adjustments if you're on the other side of that football. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. They'll be led out by the #1 overall pick in the 2018 draft, the Oklahoma Sooner, Baker Mayfield.
I know you saw in your email that the ballots will be coming in after this week's games for league MVP. You've got a vote. I've got a vote. We're getting ready to see a closing argument in this one now. Can he lock it down?
Week 17, the last act. We're not supposed to say who we're voting for, but I can say this. He's in the stadium right now. So there you go. There's my hint.
There's your hint right there. I'm going to wait until after this one is over. He's got to sway me with one more performance.
15 yards, first down, Atlanta. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up a touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Let's go.
Now Mayfield. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pumps from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? Because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
From the red zone now, Mayfield. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. A 15-yard touchdown grab as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Personally, for him, a great opening drive. He had 3 catches, including the touchdown.
That felt like tremendous scouting, great film watching, and creating a game plan to start this off, not only to get him involved, but to send a message to the defense. You have a lot to handle in this one.
Now for the point after. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and the Falcons score to cap it off. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups. Check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary, now on 3rd. He'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Well, we quit counting yardage on that one, didn't we? That was truly 3rd and a mile, wasn't it?
It was. I thought they might just go underneath, but they didn't. They wanted to get the first down there.
Yeah, they tried to pick up the huge chunk unsuccessfully. I'm with you. I would have tried to take some yardage just to gain some field position.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And this will be taken at the 13. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Falcons offense making their way onto the field. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And right now, a lot to like on that screen. They've wrapped up the division, now currently sitting in the coveted number 2 spot. Of course, you'd love number 1, but if you can't have one, number 2 is pretty good.
I agree with you totally, and here's the other part, too. The really good teams, the really confident teams, they're not as worried about being number 1. 2 is fine because they feel like they can go on the road and win against number 1 if they absolutely have to. The big thing, though, is clinching one of those early byes and able to sit and get a little rest as the playoffs begin.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They go play action. Mayfield. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Mayfield on first down. Throwing right, and that's complete. A big-time play there for the Falcons. 51 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They give it off here to the tight end. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal. To throw, Mayfield. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10.
When you're this close to the goal line, you got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
This stadium once registered as the loudest roar ever recorded, and you can hear them now. 3rd and goal. Second quarter now, Falcon football, as they'll see what they can do on 3rd and goal. 7-7, our score after 1.
Hey, Haywood! Cut! 51, Mike 51.
Now Mayfield on 3rd and goal. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Falcons have taken the lead. No surprise there. 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 14-7. So the drive there took 6 plays, and the end result, an Atlanta touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. On second down now, Browning. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
So, my man, I pose this question to you. How do you get to be the number 2 defense against the rush in the NFL?
Be better than number 3, I guess.
Okay, right.
And make plays like that, right?
Well, you know, you're right. At its basic, be better than number 3, but you really nailed it. Make plays like that on a consistent basis.
He's going to air one out. He's got him in. Complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A great pickup there, 35 yards, and obviously the first down to go along with it. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing, often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Throw left side complete. It's Armstrong. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. This quarterback now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. He'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. They'll try the left side. Browning. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A gain of 7 that time. 2nd goal.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Good yardage on 1st down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. A great effort there. He scored on the ground and through the air, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point, because you got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. The point after is good. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6. With a lot of the media, Charles, ourselves included, starting to prep those MVP ballots, you wonder if last week's performance, which he admitted was not very good, if that hurt him at all coming down the stretch.
Less than 50 yards on the ground in last week's game that you referenced, and let's face it, if he has another game like that, we'll erase him from the MVP discussion. He won't even be talked about anymore. He has to bounce back with 100-plus in this one in order to stay in that race.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Mayfield. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a gain of 13 and a 1st down for Atlanta.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Play action now. Here's Mayfield. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught.
We got this.
A really nice gain of 25 yards. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. And this is caught at the 8. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
Here's Mayfield. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Second down and goal. Mayfield. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. A costly penalty there. A lineman got downfield, and for the moment, that cost him 6 points. And again, it's Mayfield. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass, excellent job. Way to knock it down.
2 incompletions haven't moved him any closer. And likely throwing again, you'd have to think on 3rd and goal here.
Don't say nothing. And Alpha. 51 to 1, 51.
They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
They had it 1st and goal, 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds a little counterintuitive. But you run out of space to run the deep routes, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, there's just not as much space. They end up having to take 3 there.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. You can count his carries on one finger. They've only given him the rock one time, Charles. What gives?
So we can't draw any conclusions just yet. He has to touch the ball multiple times in order to get into a rhythm and have a chance to have success. You know who else gets into a rhythm? The offensive line. They feel better about what they're doing when they know they've had multiple opportunities to get it done.
Yeah, well, the conclusion we can draw so far, they're losing here in the second quarter. Let's see if they change tunes. Here's a throw, complete right side to start things out. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Here's a 2nd and 7. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
We always talk about receivers. If the ball hits your hands, you're supposed to haul it in, but it is hard to adjust to a pass thrown a little bit behind you.
That one was all the momentum going forward. Couldn't contort his body back to grab it. They'll look to throw here. And he's got his man. That's Landry. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. This quarterback now 12 of 17 through the air as he leads his guys up on first down. Back to throw here. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. 2nd and 11. Really good defensive effort. It's caught inside the 25. And he takes this thing way down into Atlanta territory. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half.
30 base. Recon, 132 fighter. You better be afraid of me. Step.
He'll drop to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. The excellent play last time is followed by a much more routine gain of 3.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 14 yards there on a Falcon first down. Mayfield now 10 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. Throwing. Mayfield. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. A gain there of 21 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 46. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line.
Now that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
50 wants the mic. 50 wants the mic. Watch the curl. Watch the curl. Watch the curl.
Mayfield now from the 50. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And a return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They're going to look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football and now zapped right back in the other direction. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Williamson. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. Mayfield now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 10 yards there and a 1st down for the Falcons. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
Mayfield on play action. Going right side here, and that's complete. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 14 yards there and a Falcon first down.
So coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now they try the right side here. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
First down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down. From the gun, Mayfield. Going to throw right side here, complete. 15 yards, first down, Atlanta. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause, to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play?
Mayfield now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. Mayfield looks to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. 25 yards that time. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
Now Mayfield. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons.
Touchdown, baby.
A 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Falcons push further out in front. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that drive in total 8 plays. And the Falcons score to cap it off. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
That's it, baby. We're going to run.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They're down now 24-14. Work to do as they come up on a 1st and 10. The run on first down gets them a couple up to the 27. Give them a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Falcons grab it. And they'll be at the 18-yard line. Great field position here in the red zone.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Mayfield now after the fumble recovery. This is caught. And he'll be out of bounds. 18 yards there, and it'll be a first and goal. Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go back and watch this tape and really enjoy what I'm seeing. The route running, competing for the football, just breaking down a defense.
They come up in an offset eye.
Check, watch 54, watch 54. Here we go.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Mayfield now, and that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
But there was no trace of nervousness there. He was able to diagnose that play from his linebacker position, stay in excellent coverage, and bat the ball away.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal.
Move. You got 4. Go. Line 52.
To throw, Mayfield toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
But, partner, anytime someone tells me that fundamentals are leaving the game, I'm going to show them this play because they couldn't get to the passer. So what do you have to do? Get your hands up in the passing lane, and they batted it away on a 3rd down attempt.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This a chip shot, a 20-yarder. And his kick here is good. And that will stretch the lead up to 13. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Seattle offense. We take a peek at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. A well-executed 22-yard gain. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They'll drop the throw. is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
It is tough to complete pass against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. 2nd and 10. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
I had a coach tell me a long time ago that running a screen pass is similar to acting 101 for your offense, because you've got to show something different and create extra space for linemen to chase the quarterback in order to create extra room for the receiver to catch the football and maneuver upfield.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And it's taken in at the 9. Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Mayfield off the play fake. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run. What a game it's been for this duo.
They remind me of a good comedy team. They know how to play off of each other so well. No matter how one riffs, the other's right there to pick them up, and they are shredding them in this ballgame.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Play fake. Mayfield. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Second and 10 now from the 27. Here's Mayfield. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Mayfield. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against him offensively. So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not in the team anymore. I just cut it. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's there got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. This complete to Jones. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it is incomplete. The Seahawks go for it but can't convert. And the Falcons' defense stands tall. They'll get the football back. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Mayfield to throw it. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. They'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A pickup of 27, and they pick up the 1st down in the process. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
180. 54 Mike. Silver.
From the red zone now, Mayfield. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked.
Sack City. Sack
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Now left side on the swing pass. Pushing his way through. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up first downs and keeping the football.
The Falcons on 3rd down. 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. Throwing, Mayfield. This will be caught at about the 6. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. And quickly, we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. Well, the lead late in the 4th, and Mayfield's going to throw it to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
Now Mayfield on 3rd and goal. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Snags it for the pick. And they get the football, but not much on the return here as he stopped at the 7-yard line. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And right now, probably just one thing in his mind. It's getting back to the hot start because he's really faded.
And ordinarily when that happens, the quarterback, as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes around him saying, hey, guess what? We got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella. Because they know more times than not, he tends to pick things up, and they tend to play well.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. He'll look to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. Looking to throw.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. 2nd down and inches. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. They go play action here on 1st down. He'll get this into the hands of Hodge. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. It's a gain of 15, 1st down Seahawks. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
And he's got the hook up to Landry. And he takes us just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. They get 17 on that one. Move the chains. First down, Seahawks. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
He's got the first down inside the 10. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last two plays. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on second and goal, back even further. 2nd and 15. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. You got to think this is likely 4-down territory anyway, but they'll try to punch it in now on 3rd and goal. They'll set up to throw. This will be caught at about the 6. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A great play there with his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 15 on the year, as his guys are able to pull a bit closer.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
A very pivotal 2-point try that does not go their way. Now it's a big uphill battle for the rest of the 4th quarter.
The attempt was to try and make it a 1-score game, right? Touchdown, get 2, and now you've tied it up. Instead, they don't get it. Still down 10.
They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none.
You ain't doing nothing today. Alert, 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 alert. Mike's 54. Mike's 54.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. So time runs out. It's a victory for the Atlanta Falcons. And this one wasn't easy. You had an East Coast team, Charles, going west, playing a night game, but somehow they were able to get the job done.
Yeah, when you talk about playing a night game, they're closer to being sleepy because of East Coast time with their bodies when you're kicking off to play the game. So that's a real big accomplishment for them to get that done. The flip side, too, is traveling home. In the old days, you had to wait to get the video for your next game. You had all those. So you were really a day behind. Now the video's on.